Our first guest is a Bronx native, a Walk of Famer, entrepreneur, award-winning music executive, and owner of Fever Records. He joins us today to talk about this year's Hip Hop Fever, a celebration of hip hop coming to the Lehman Center for the Performing Arts. And well, this year, you know, is major, everyone, because we are celebrating 50 years of hip hop with performances by Grandmaster Melly Mel, Scorpio, KRS-One, Curtis Blow, the Sugar Hill Gang, and many more. But we're going to learn a little bit more about what this year's extravaganza is going to entail with the man himself, owner of Fever Records, music executive, Sal Abbatiello.
Hey. What's up, baby?
Oh my gosh, it's so good to see you in person, Sal.
Yep. Why, you only see me on TV?
No, I was supposed to say that line.
Anyway.
No, I know, but it's been a while. You know, we usually have you on
COVID.
annually, and we had to resort to doing virtually. This is the first time I'm having you back in studio. I know you had your struggles with COVID throughout the pandemic.
4 times.
Oh my gosh, 4 times. Well, I'm happy to see you. I'm happy to see you kicking it live.
Yep.
Oh my gosh. And then there's this, you know, explosion of hip hop's 50th birthday this year, whereas you've been doing this every year for the past, what, 10 years?
Here at Lehman,
Yeah.
And freestyle we've been doing for 15 years.
Yeah, congrats on that too.
Thank you.
That one is always sold out, so we hardly ever have you on.
We don't have to talk about that one.
But let's just talk about your history with hip hop, because I think it's important that our audience understand how involved you've been in its cultivation as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, saw it in the streets in '76. I had a club called the Disco Fever. That's when disco was out on 167 Jerome in the Bronx, close to Yankee Stadium, and it was an R&B club, disco, you know, music. And at night, this young DJ named Sweet G would come there after everybody finished doing their disco stuff, like 4 or 5 in the morning, because you know the boogie down, you can stay open all night.
Right.
And he was doing rhymes and asking the crowd to do responses back and forth, like say ho, throw your hands in the air. And what was intriguing me, because I was sitting there watching it, because I was working uptown on Allenton Avenue. We had a nice disco up there where Chaz Palmolari was, Joe Pesci, all those guys used to work there. And I would go after work and I would watch him, but what intrigued me was the entire audience was being included in what he was saying and doing. So it made the whole place be as one person. It was easy for them to interact with each other. You know, when you're in a club, it's hard to talk to somebody.
Right,
now, this gave everybody a chance to, they were all doing the same thing together.
Right.
And they would start, each week, they would start remembering what the response was of what he was asking them to do. So I finally went up to him and said, wow, this is gonna be the new movement. This was the street new movement of the young, you know, urban, Latino, and black kids in the street in high school. This was going to be the children of the R&B and the Motown movement.
Right.
So I went into parks and I started looking. I said, who's the most popular person we could find? I kept hearing Grandmaster Flash, Slowbug Starsky, DJ Hollywood. So I finally went to meet Grandmaster Flash in the park. And I told him that I wanted to bring him to my club and bring him indoors. He was like, who's this white boy? What the hell does he know about hip-hop and stuff? So this was just being discovered in the street, and the DJs were bringing in MCs. So it just started. Kool Herc started it in '73 at a small place where he was having a little neighborhood party on Cedric Avenue, which is they call the birthplace of hip hop now.
Right.
Yeah.
It's amazing that you remember dates and all of that. And it's important that we also share the actual history and your involvement. Sal, you've always been a visionary, and you have been able to really sustain a culture and keep it relevant.
Yeah. Yes.
That's really been because I consider like freestyle our urban classics, right? And then the hip hop flavor you're bringing in is the hip hop classics, right? So let's talk about the show now, because I'm telling you, this sounds like it's going to be a sing along.
Well, I'm so excited because we do it every year. Last year we did it in honor of Ruben Diaz, who was the Bronx Road president at the time. So this time we're doing the 50th year of hip hop, and they're doing concerts all around the country, all around New York, in every borough. And of course, we had to have ours in the Boogie Down Bronx, where the disco fever, started in '77 and lasted till '86. It was in the movie Crush Groove. So what I try to do is I try to keep the movement alive with the original guys, the old school guys who started it. I don't want people to forget them because they are so important. Maybe they didn't get the money, but they're going to be remembered forever because now hip hop is just getting bigger and bigger. And this 50-year anniversary now is just bringing awareness to it all around the country. These guys are working like crazy. They're doing 20, 30 shows a year now. It's amazing. I'm so blessed to be part of it.
Yeah, no, listen, let me tell you what it did to me, right? So I knew you were going to be on, so I went and I started listening to these songs, and it's so reminiscent of my childhood because, as much as we may think that hip hop wasn't an influence, hip hop is part of my culture because I grew up on hip hop.
Especially
right?
the Bronx.
Yeah. I mean, I'm just saying, just in general, it became it became part of our upbringing.
Yep.
And so I was listening to these songs and I was amazed that I remember all the lyrics. And I mean, I was like 8 years old. I hope I'm not really dating myself right now. But my point is that this is a class act you got put together here. So let's talk about how the evening is going to be curated. I did mention some of the artists, but if you can recall,
well, I'm also
everybody.
excited about the DJs. We have DJ Hollywood, who is one of the legends. He was one of the first to rap and DJ at the same time and be one of the best. Him and Love Starsky, rest in peace. Sweet G is going to be on, which was my first record called Games People Play, which was the #1 record in New York in 1983.
Oh my gosh,
Yeah.
I know that song.
How
Games People Play.
And they do.
And they still do.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. And he'll be on there. He was the manager of the Fever back in the day. Plus, that was my first record on Fever. Went to #1 on BLS, Kiss, KTU. So that's exciting. Plus, we're best friends. So he'll be there. Also, we got Black Sheep is going to be there. Engine #9 on the New York Transit line. One of the greatest lines in hip hop.
What?
Yeah.
I know. We're just rocking it out here in
And
the
to
studio.
the bridge, and then we got KRS-One.
What? To the bridge.
Yeah.
To the bridge.
And Sugar Hill, which is one of your
course,
favorite
that's
records.
The hip,
Sing it, girl.
We're going to have to do our own sing-along here in the studio.
So this is going to be a special one, the 50th year. We're going to tape it, and hopefully we'll be here for the 60th year, too.
I like that. I like that. I gotta say, Sal, looking into your eyes with the utmost admiration for all of the years that you have dedicated to just sustaining this urban culture and keeping them relevant, not only from the perspective of being visible, but keeping them employed.
Yeah. Yes.
That has been something that
I mean, it's not an easy show to do because now you're going to have everybody with their friends. They all want to come backstage, and they think it's a club, and it's like, hello, it's a theater.
Right.
There ain't that much room backstage.
Right.
Everybody got to have wristbands, and they're like, hey, get me and my 6 friends in backstage.
Right.
So that's going to be the hardest part because you want to give everybody a play because these are the guys who started it off, and I want to make sure that they're remembered as the pioneers of this. We're going to have the Bronx Hip Hop Museum.
The Universal Hip Hop Museum.
Opening up probably the end of 2024. Fever's going to be represented in there. Crazy. They got my signs, or my pictures, my flyers and stuff. So at least I know, God forbid, after we're gone from here, my grandchildren, great-grandchildren will be able to go to the museum and see what I did and what we did for hip-hop in the Bronx forever and ever.
Bravo, Sal. Fever. I got the fever. That was so well said. Bien caliente. I know everybody always thinks Sal's Latino. He's not, but I know he understands.
For sure.
Everyone, once again, that's Sal Abbatiello of Fever Records, and we're talking about the 2023 Hip Hop Fever celebration that is taking place tomorrow, Saturday, May 6th at 8 p.m. at Lehman Center for the Performing Arts, which is located at 250 Bedford Park Boulevard West in the Bronx. And this thousands of seats there. However, these concerts, they sell out, so I highly recommend you get your tickets in advance. And for more information, you can visit lehmancenter.org. All right, stay tuned. There's more open when we return.